comfy pants today, guys. Go get your comfy clothes, comfy pants. We're just gonna chit chat today. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. Hope you are having a good day. I thought it would just be fun to have a little chit chat about my singer mishaps, my performing arts and music and singing mishaps. So let me know in the comments down below, what kinds of things have you guys ever done on stage that are embarrassing or funny or ridiculous or just straight up weird? Let me know. We can all share our experiences together. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I do music related content as well as other things that just sound like fun. Grab yourself a cup of tea or a snack or whatever you want to get, and let's get into it. Okay, so there was this one time we were in practice, we were rehearsing this song. I can't remember off the top of my head what song it was, but I decided I wanted to belt the high F sharp note. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna do this, because I'm the kind of person that likes to embrace the high notes, right? So I'm like, yes, I'm gonna belt this high F sharp note. And it was like an a cappella ensemble, and there were like 6 or 8 of us or so at this time, and we were all learning different parts, and we got to the point in the a cappella ensemble when we were gonna do it was after the bridge, the climax of the song leading into the final part. And during this rehearsal, I had not practiced belting this note. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it, right? When I finally got to it, my voice crack was so loud and so high that we had to cancel rehearsal because we couldn't stop laughing. So, yeah, because of me, we had to cancel rehearsal for the day. I don't know if I think we just all lost our focus. It was such a high and loud and awful, bad voice crack that we had to cancel rehearsal for the rest of the day. And I feel like we all talked about it for a couple of years, so. Yeah, that's what I did in college. Okay, another time that I screwed up was this variety show in college, and I was singing "I Will Survive," and it was so much fun. And so I was on stage, and when you're on stage, it's really easy, especially if it's something you've practiced a lot and you know really well. It's really easy for your mind to wander, and I think that's what happened because I ended up singing the second verse twice. So I sang the first part, and I don't even remember singing it. I just know I did it, and I was on stage doing my little whatever I was doing at that time. And I also remember, I think I was wearing high heel shoes, and I'm not good at walking in high heel shoes, and I think I was just so focused on not falling, so I wasn't paying attention as much to what I was singing. And so I sang the first verse, I sang the chorus, and I got to the second verse, and I'm like, wait a second, I think I've already done this. I think I've done this already. And so I was like, I wonder if anyone's gonna notice. So luckily nobody did. At least that's why I asked around, and no one really had noticed. So I was like, yes, fake it till you make it. It works. It works. So that was awkward. Oh my gosh. Okay, so another thing. I have a whole list going of all the things I've ever screwed up that I can think off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more. Okay, there was one time. Oh, this was recently. There was one time I cued everyone in the audience at the wrong time to sing the chorus. It was for that song 500 miles. I will walk 500 miles and I will walk 500 more. And for some reason I thought I had it memorized in my head. My students were on stage playing this big huge mega band. So each kid had to be taught their own parts. I taught my piano students a part. There was another teacher who taught drum students, and then someone who taught guitar students. And so at that point, I was trying to make sure my students were all ready, and I was just going on stage to sing harmony with the person who was singing the lead. And I was so focused on getting my student ready, which was good because that's what I should have been doing. I made sure she was all set and she was good. And there was no time to get the lyrics of this song. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna wing it now. And that's what I tried doing, because I was on the opposite side of the stage as the lead singer. And so I'm like, okay, I think I kind of know how this goes, right? Hey guys, Brianna from the future here. One thing I forgot to mention when I first filmed this video was that it was not required for me to go on stage and lead everybody in singing the chorus and doing harmony with the lead singer. I just decided the day before that I was going to do this because it sounded like fun. So it technically wasn't part of the job and wasn't required. But anyway, let's continue with the rest of the video. I was singing the song, and I thought it was that part that la da 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 da, and I was like gonna cue them in for that. And so and I kind of had nailed most of it so far. As I kind of knew how the song went, but I didn't know it inside out. I still don't think I know it inside out. But I decided to fake it till you make it. And I didn't fake it very well, and I didn't make it. So I got to the part where I thought it was. And I remember at one time I was cueing everybody, like, okay, go. And then I realized, oh crap, that's not the part. So I'm like, no, on stage. And everyone's just like had this look like, deer in headlights look, like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Or, oh my gosh, did she just do that? Or like, oh my gosh, what now? In everyone's face, they were just like shocked. Like deer in headlights look, because I just cued them and I'm like, no. That was pretty embarrassing. But it was funny. I think people got a good laugh out of it, so it was fine. Okay, let's see another one. Oh, this was awkward. Okay, so this was when I was psalming at church. And so what that means, you lead the whole congregation in singing the psalm, like after they read the scripture verse. So before I got to church, I got there a little bit early so I could learn the psalm. And we went over it like a little bit, but I often relied on sight reading most of the time for it. So like we would run it like once or twice. And I'm like, okay, good, I'm ready to go sing this now. So then once it got to the point in the mass when I had to go up and like lead everybody to singing it, I had my book. So I brought my book. And then the song started, and I remember looking at the book, and there's like one song on this page, and then a different song on this page. And for some reason, my eyes wandered to this page, which was like the wrong page of the book. And the music's going, and I'm staring at this, and I started singing whatever the words were, and like I was kind of reading what the melody was on the page. And then I just stopped because I'm like,
what's going on? This doesn't make sense. I'm so confused.
I was just so confused. Like the emotion was just like confusion. Like this, like what is happening? And I'm hearing music playing because my music director's playing the piano like a ways behind me, and I can hear it. And I'm just like staring at my book, completely confused. And I'm like, I don't know what to do now. And like it didn't dawn on me that I was supposed to be reading off of this page, and I completely forgot the song I had just learned like a half hour before this. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And so then my music director started singing the part on this page, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the song I learned. This is the song I went over. This is what I'm doing. And then I was fine. But it was so awkward for like, it must have been like a minute. It felt like 10 minutes. It felt like it felt so much longer than it was. It was probably maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It felt so much longer, and I was like, oh, that's so awkward. That's so awkward. Let's see what other things I did. I hope y'all are drinking your tea. Okay, this was super embarrassing. This was back in choir. And there were like 30 or 40 of us in this massive choir. And because I'm like shorter, I was stuck more like in the front, which is good because I don't like being on the high risers, like where everybody is, because I was always afraid I was going to fall off. So I'm thankful that I'm short because I could stand up near the front. But anyway, so I was like in the second row of the choir, and we were singing, I don't even know what song it was, but it was before, like it was in a rehearsal. We were practicing like before our concert, like an hour or two before our concert, because we just got into the venue. And I don't remember what we were singing. I just know that in choir, it's really hard because you have all these different voices around you. You hear so much sound behind you. And there's a lot of times people have really bad vowel shaping. And so that can cause them to either go flat or sharp. But all you can really do in that situation is you kind of have to move with the choir. So if the choir's slowly going flat, you have to kind of just like absorb the sound around you and like just kind of like sing what you hear. So if everyone's going sharp or flat, you kind of have to follow with them, because like you don't want to be that one person that's like singing the right note and everyone else is like a half step down or half step up, and it's just bad. So anyway, there was everyone around me, and I'm just trying my best based on what I hear to sing like what the incoming sound is, so I can like sing that out in front. And so it must have been flat, but I couldn't tell because I have all the people around me. And this was like when I first started in this choir in college, and it was during the rehearsal. So everybody was in the choir. My music director was there, all my friends.
I didn't have a lot of friends. Who am I kidding?
A lot of people in this choir. And the guy in front of me, who was like a tenor, he turned around and like to my face was like, "Stop singing so flat." He was like,
"Stop singing flat, you're screwing us up."
and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Like, I'm just doing the best I can with what I hear, and then I'm trying to sing whatever's going on. Like, I can't help it. I don't have perfect pitch, and even then, you're supposed to move with the choir. So it was so embarrassing. He like just turns around because he's right in front of like off, like, you know, Kitty, like I'm here, he's here, turns around and is like, "Stop singing so flat. You're screwing us up," in front of everybody. What? Was so embarrassing. And like I couldn't tell, honestly. I was just going off of what was going on with me. That wasn't fun. That was not fun. What else we got? Oh my gosh, there was this one time. So this is another church thing. I was at church and we had this Advent by candlelight. It's this really nice ceremony where there's different like Christmas songs, there's scripture readings, and like you reflect on the readings, and it's just a good time. And so I had two of my friends, we were doing like this little music thing. So I had arranged most of the music. I like composed it and stuff. And so we had a guitar there and a piano, and then the three of us were singing. And so on the piano there were all these different like buttons. It's like those fun electric pianos or electric keyboards. And so at one point we were singing something, I think, like rather serious, and my friend who was playing the piano, she accidentally like hits the drum kit button, and so you hear this like boom, 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 kind of like thing like coming out, and it was so loud. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing, because like people I know, like family friends are there, that priest is there. This is like one of my first like paid gigs out of college. Like, this is so bad. And like we just couldn't help, like we couldn't stop laughing. I need to bring us all back together because we're all just like, we all lost it. We lost it. I don't think a lot of people in the audience knew though, because later I asked people about it and they didn't really like notice it. But oh my gosh, it was so hard to reel the three of us back in because we were just laughing so hard. It was so awkward. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my first like paid gig. My first paid like musician gig out of school, and like I'm failing hardcore. That was so bad. Yeah, that was not fun. That was not fun. What else do I have? Let's do one more. I have a lot, but you know, I'll save some for another day because why not? Okay, there was one time I came on stage in the wrong outfit. What happened was I sang earlier in the show. I think this is when I did the I Survived song again. I think this is the same show. And I was like backstage in like the green room or whatever. And it was so cold back there. So I had on a jacket. It was like a pink jacket like this. I mean, it wasn't this jacket, but it was a bright pink jacket. And my outfit I wore was not pink at all. It was more like dressy, and I was singing the finale of the show. So I was, just chilling. Is there a bug on my wall? No. So, I was just chilling backstage, and it's so cold back there. And I had on like, I think it was like a sleeveless shirt, or like it had a really short sleeve, and I was freezing because this was like where I live anyway. It's like cold in early spring, and I was freezing. I think it was, no, maybe it was in the winter. It was spring or winter, and I was so cold, and it was so cold behind the stage. So I had on this jacket, and like I would, listen to music, have my headphones in, watch YouTube videos, which I still do today, or like I would be knitting backstage. I don't know, I just did all kinds of things that weren't homework because I didn't want to do homework backstage like a rebel. Okay, so it was time for me to go on stage, and I was in like this really cool like time machine like prop like little car wheelie thing. They would like wheel me on like on stage from backstage, and it was so much fun. So I had my jacket on. I didn't even realize it because like I'm freezing, right? And I get on stage, and I remember at one point the girl like who was helping me, like wheeling me, pushing me on stage in this little cart, she looked at me, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing this like jacket that like it had like the college name on it. Like it was totally like not good that I had that on. So casually as I got off, I had to be like, oh, let me just take this off. Like I, meant to do this on purpose, and like set it down, and was like, okay, time to keep going with the show now. That was weird. Because I remember even at one point, afterwards I asked my parents, or my parents were like, yeah, why'd you have that jacket on? And I'm like,
What jacket?
Just kidding. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't mean to do that. That was awkward. And even the girl later was like, yeah, I wondered why you had that on. Like, what were you, like, that was kind of weird. I was like, yeah, it was weird, but I did it. It happened. So anyway, that's my video for today. Please, again, let me know in the comments below what kinds of things have you done on stage to screw up. It's good to let each other know, like, we're not alone, that we've all done this. At least, you know, that I'm not alone. Please let me know that other people have done this. Please don't let it just be me. And that's it for today. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.